They said you're finished, they said you're overhyped, they said you'll never rise again. Good, because when they doubt you, they forget what you're made of. They forget the fire, the obsession, the discipline that doesn't sleep. This is not just about football. This is about life. This is about how real champions respond when the world turns its back. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Now watch how you turn doubt into motivation. Turn doubt into motivation. Doubt is a language the world speaks fluently. The moment you dare to dream big, it shows up. In whispers behind your back, in headlines, in voices that say you're not good enough, not fast enough, not strong enough. For most people, that doubt is a weight. It slows them down, crushes their confidence, and forces them to play small. But for a real champion, doubt is something else entirely. It's not a chain, it's a challenge. You see, when they say, you can't, the response isn't to argue, it's to show. Not words, but with work. When someone believes you're finished, when they count you out, that's the perfect time to dig deeper than you ever had. Doubt is not a wall, it's a door waiting to be broken down. When the noise gets loud, the focus gets sharper. The focus gets sharp. Champions learn to take doubt and convert it into pure relentless drive. Every criticism becomes a rep in the gym. Every insult becomes a sprint on the training field. Every headline saying, he's past his prime becomes another reason to push, to sweat, to bleed. Because the truth is, when they doubt you, they don't understand what's burning inside you. They don't see the discipline. They don't see the 5 a.m. sessions, the skip parties, the sacrifices that leave you lonely but undefeated. The world only believes when they see results. But belief begins long before the applause. It begins in silence when nobody is watching. That's when you decide who you really are. A victim of doubt or a machine built to overcome it. And here's the truth. The people who doubt you today will try to stand next to you tomorrow. They'll act like they always believe, but in your heart you'll know it was their doubt that built your fire. It was their disbelief that gave you purpose. Because doubt for the ones who are truly obsessed with greatness is nothing but free energy. You don't avoid it. You don't hide from it. You use it. Every great moment begins with someone saying, it's impossible. Every chord broken was once a joke to someone else. Every comeback starts with doubt. And every step forward is taken with a chip on the shoulder and a storm in the soul. The difference between the average and the elite isn't talent. It's mindset. It's what you do when they laugh at you. It's how you react when they say you'll never make it. Do you believe them? Or do you let their doubt become your power? Because once you learn to love doubt, once you learn to welcome it, you become unstoppable. You stop needing validation. You stop seeking approval. You start focusing only on your craft, your mission, your destiny. You don't have time to explain yourself. You let your actions speak volumes. You turn their doubt into your drive, their rejection into your obsession, and their silence into your celebration. The ones who doubt you are necessary. They are a gift. Without them, you might settle. You might get comfortable. But with them, you stay hungry. You stay focused. You stay dangerous. Doubt doesn't break you. It builds you. Setbacks are fuel, not defeat. Every champion has a low point. A moment when nothing goes right. When the effort seems wasted. When the world feels too heavy, the body feels too tired, and the critics sound too loud. These moments are not signs to quit. They are tests. They are the checkpoint on the road to greatness. And if you don't face setbacks, you're probably not aiming high enough. The best never run from failure. They study it. They dissect it. They let it sting. Then let it sting. Then let it strengthen. A setback isn't the end. It's the beginning of something deeper. It's the fire that forces you to evolve. Because when you lose, when you suffer, when you fall, that's when you learn what you're made of. That's when the real growth starts. It's easy to keep going when you're winning. When the cameras are flashing, when the fans are chanting your name. But what happens when you're alone in a hotel room after a bad game? What happens when you miss the shot? When you sit on the bench? When they replace you with someone younger, faster? That's where you decide whether you're ordinary or legendary. Setbacks reveal your character. They expose your hunger. They show you whether you're here for the fame or for the fight. A real competitor sees a setback and says, good. Now I get to prove who I really am. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about embracing it, wearing it like armor, using it as fuel. That injury that kept you out for months, fuel. That loss that broke your heart, fuel. That betrayal from someone you trusted, fuel. Every disappointment becomes data. Every loss becomes leverage. The process of bouncing back becomes the proof that you're not here for the applause. You're here to dominate, to grow, to rise. Champions don't cry over setbacks. They train harder, they study more, they raise the standard. A bad game isn't a breakdown, it's a blueprint. It tells you where to improve, what to sharpen, and how to return stronger than ever. And let's be clear, it's never just about skill, it's about resilience. Talent gets you started. Grit keeps you going. Anyone can perform when things are going well, but when everything goes wrong, that's when you find out who's really built for this. You can't fake your way through a setback. It exposes the truth, and the truth is, most people quit. But the few, they lead, they rise from the ashes, they study their mistakes, they silence the noise. The noise? They come back with more precision, more intensity, more hunger. Setbacks are not a reason to slow down. They are the reason to speed up, to refocus, to remind yourself why you started in the first place. Because the mission doesn't change just because the journey gets hard. If anything, the pain sharpens the purpose. There's no such thing as a clean path to greatness. It's messy, it's brutal, it's filled with moments when nobody believes in you, not even yourself. But if you keep moving, keep working, keep evolving, then one day the same people who doubted you will be the ones saying they always knew you'd make it. And the secret? You never stop believing, not in results, not in praise, but in the value of every single setback, every defeat that made you stronger, smarter, and more focused than ever before. Rise stronger after every fall. Falling is part of the journey. It doesn't matter how hard you train or how good you are, you will stumble. You will be knocked down by circumstances, by pressure, by people who want to see you fail. But falling isn't the problem. Staying down is. Champions rise. Every single time. They wipe the blood, shake off the doubt, and get back on their feet with more hunger. Every fall becomes a reason to rise even harder. Pain becomes a reminder of purpose. Failure becomes a spark. You fall 7 times, you get up 8. You don't cry about it. You don't complain. You rise with a new level of fire in your eyes. Greatness demands sacrifice. You can't reach the top living like everyone else. Greatness doesn't come from comfort. It comes from lonely mornings, missed birthdays, and relentless discipline. While others sleep, you train. You work. The price is high. Your time, your energy, your focus. You give up comfort for greatness is for excellence. You don't get to be ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. You choose. Sacrifice isn't a punishment. It's the proof that you're serious. Pressure builds champions. Pressure isn't the enemy. It's the test. When the lights are brightest and the world is watching, that's when true competitors shine. Pressure exposes the weak and elevates the strong. It doesn't scare a champion. It activates something deeper. The heartbeat quickens, the focus sharpens, and every ounce of fear turns into fuel. Champions don't run from pressure. They crave it. Because pressure means the moment matters. And the bigger the moment, the greater the opportunity to prove what you're made of. Failure is a stepping stone. Every failure carries a lesson wrapped in pain. It's not something to avoid, it's something to study. You miss, you fall, you lose. And that's where the real learning begins. Each setback gives you that, exposes weakness, and sharpens your weakness, and sharpens your edge. Champions look at failure like a mirror. It doesn't lie, and it doesn't flatter. It shows you exactly what needs to change. You don't fear failure, you respect it. You use it to adjust, to grow, and to move closer to the next level, to convert a no into a no. Rejection is part of the path. You'll hear it now from coaches, critics, even people close to you. They'll say you're not ready, not good enough, not the right fit. But champions don't accept limits set by others. Every no becomes a switch. Not to stop, but to activate urgency. No doesn't mean never. It means now is the time to prove them wrong. Now is the time to grind harder, train smarter, and stay locked in. You don't wait for permission. You create your own opportunity with every drop of sweat and every second of focus. Your response defines your legacy. It's not what happens to you. It's how you respond that people remember. You can't control every loss, injury, or unfair decision, but you can control your reaction. Champions don't fold under adversity. They respond with power. When others panic, they stay composed. When others break, they rise. Legacy isn't built on comfort. It's built on how you show up in the storm. Your response is your identity. It separates the great from the forgotten. Train, think, and live like the best. Excellence isn't part-time. It's a full lifestyle. You don't just train hard, you think sharp and live with purpose. Everything you do reflects the standard you've set. Champions don't just show up. They prepare like it's life or death. The mindset is clear. Every meal, every rep, every rest matters. Discipline isn't the phase, it's the foundation. You don't compare yourself to others, you compare yourself to your potential. From the way you walk to the way you recover, everything says, I'm built for the top. Legends don't complain, they conquer when things get tough. Most people look for someone to blame. Champions look for a way forward. Complaining solves nothing. Champions channel frustration into action, into focus, into results. They don't talk about the problem, they outwork it. No excuses, no distractions, just solutions. Legends don't waste energy on pity. They use that energy to dominate. They take control of their reality and rewrite the narrative with action, power, and precision. No excuses, no fear. Just focus. Fire. This is Motivate with CR7, where champions are made. Rafael